Hello, YouTubers. Have you ever wondered what the early Christians believed about the Antichrist? Well, this video offers what an early Christian premillennial view of the Antichrist is, written by Hippolytus. If you're familiar with the subject of the Antichrist, you're likely to encounter familiar beliefs and beliefs that may be unfamiliar. As always, I welcome your comments. I tried to address this topic from the 5 journalistic questions of who, what, where, when, and why, primarily through Hippolytus's writing on Christ and Antichrist. Who is the Antichrist? Well, racially he would likely be Jewish. I doubt the Jews would accept him as their Jewish Messiah unless he were Jewish, after all. Hippolytus provides strong biblical support that the Antichrist comes from the tribe of Dan. For example, he cites Genesis 49:16 and 17, which states, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel, and that Dan shall be a serpent in the way, a viper by the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider falls backwards. The Jews and some early Christians may suggest that this refers to Samson, but Hippolytus stated that it was partially fulfilled in Samson, but would have complete fulfillment in the Antichrist. Hippolytus also quotes Deuteronomy 33, which states that Dan is a lion's cub, and he shall leap from Bashan. Now, if this is speaking about the Antichrist, it appears that he comes from the tribe of Dan, and that he starts his rise to power in Bashan. What is the Antichrist, or what is his purpose? Well, he's an imitation of Christ. He's a false Messiah. But I want to emphasize the word Messiah. He will be the kind of Messiah that humans would expect. He'll be probably a good-looking man of royal lineage that rises to world power through miraculous feats, with many proclaiming his deity. An earthly ruler that appears to be able to bring world peace. One important note that Hippolytus stated is that he believed that the Antichrist would call for the building of a third temple, but that it would be a false temple. He pointed out that this would be done as a way to imitate Christ. He said that the Savior raised up and showed his holy flesh like a temple, and he, referring to the Antichrist, will raise a temple of stone in Jerusalem. And again, that's done as a way to imitate Christ. Given the passages that, according to Hippolytus, label the Antichrist the king of Assyria, and that he leaps from Bashan, which is in Syria, Syria seems to be the place where a Jew from the tribe of Dan will gain power. When will this happen? Well, who knows? But one thing to look for would be a Jewish guy from the tribe of Dan gaining power in Syria, obviously, especially if he starts telling the Jews to rebuild the temple. Why does the Antichrist come? The Bible's very clear about why the Antichrist will come. It teaches that Satan will be cast out of heaven so that he can no longer accuse people of their sins to God. Because Satan is cast out of heaven, the heavens rejoice, but there is woe for the inhabitants of the earth, because the devil comes to earth in the form of the Antichrist. So the point is that, much like Jesus, Antichrist will come down from heaven. Unlike Jesus, he will be pretty mad about it. Because he's mad about being cast to earth, he will persecute the church. In short, the Bible teaches that Satan is still in heaven, accusing people before God. but one day he will be cast to earth. When this happens, he will take the form of a Jewish man and will rise to power in Syria. One of the key signs to look for is the command to rebuild the Jerusalem temple. Hey folks, thanks for your time. If you like hearing about Christian theology, please show your support by subscribing. Thanks once again.